Hey guys, everybody's Hope here. Welcome back to the channel. And today I have a bit of a rant. I want to talk about Apple's upcoming iOS 15 release and how I feel like it's going to be a disappointment for many iOS users. Now, most users agree iOS 15 is somewhat of an underwhelming update coming to the iPhone in about a month from this video. And today I want to talk about 4 features that make that situation even worse and sort of disappointing. Now, before the end of the video, I want to talk about some minor changes that Apple could have made to the software, in my opinion, that would have made this software just a home run. And I don't know if you remember back with iOS 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, every time Apple released a new software update, the iPhone that I had always felt like an entirely new device. It was a burst of fresh air, honestly, but it doesn't feel that way with iOS 15. And I first want to start talking about some of the features that Apple has pushed back for future release. And the first one I want to talk about is App Privacy Report. If we head on over to Settings and we go to Privacy and we scroll down, we find right here the App Activity. Now, the App Privacy Report is aimed to show you which applications are taking advantage or getting access to the photos, the microphone, the camera, how often they take advantage with a graphical user interface as shown on Apple's website. However, as of right now, it is shown in plain text just like this. You can save the report and it will save for 7 days and you can view it. But the graphical user interface that Apple has promised, Apple has mentioned that isn't ready, so you won't be able to see which apps are accessing what from your device, at least at the initial release. Now, sometimes when Apple pushes features back, sometimes they get cut altogether. Hopefully that's not going to be the case with most of the features that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So App Privacy Report, one of the big features in my opinion that I was anticipating, it looks like Apple is going to be pushing back for a later release. Now, another feature that I was hoping for Apple to integrate within the wallet application is IDs. Apple had mentioned that IDs was coming to the wallet application on iPhone. You can add your driver's license, maybe your school ID. However, Apple says that this feature won't be ready for the initial release of iOS 15 here in the next couple of weeks, which is again another disappointment, a bit unfortunate, although this was going to be a US first feature and not every single state was going to support this feature. I was really looking forward to this one because the IDs and driver's license on your phone is a great idea, and I know most users were probably hoping for this feature to make the initial cut. And again, Apple says that this feature is coming, but later this year with additional updates to iOS 15. Fingers crossed. Now, one of the biggest features with iOS 15 was within FaceTime. FaceTime has added a great feature that Apple has now pushed back called SharePlay. Now, for those of you that don't follow, SharePlay allows you to watch a movie, a TV show, listen to music, and so much more simultaneously with another user on a FaceTime call. However, Apple, since iOS 15 Developer Beta 6 earlier this week, has mentioned that this feature will no longer be shipping with iOS 15's initial launch, and hopefully this doesn't get cut from iOS 15 altogether. Apple has noted that developers intending to update their devices or their apps with this feature will have to remove it from the initial launch and internally test until Apple is ready to roll it out. Apple has now provided developers with a profile to install onto your device to continue testing this feature, SharePlay, across your applications. But it is a bit unfortunate because one of the biggest updates was this year FaceTime, and taking away SharePlay kind of takes one of the biggest updates away, in my personal opinion. So once again, another disappointment, and hopefully it doesn't get cut from iOS entirely. And last but not least, I want to talk about Universal Control. Now, Universal Control is a really awesome feature that Apple debuted at WWDC, and honestly is one of the biggest features coming to iPadOS and macOS. Although Apple hasn't mentioned that this feature will not be making the cut, we haven't seen any evidence of this feature on iPadOS or macOS, and we're about a month away from iOS, iPadOS, tvOS, macOS, and of course watchOS from being dropped, and Apple has yet to give developers access to Universal Control to test it out. And this feature is pretty cool because you can start a task on your iPad and bring it over to the Mac if you have them sitting next to each other. It really looks like magic. It is a home run feature that I was really looking forward to. And this feature also allows you to control your iPad using your Mac's trackpad and keyboard. I mean, it's just unifying the OS between iPad and macOS, and it's an amazing feature, as I mentioned already, but it looks like this could not be making the cut if Apple doesn't launch this feature soon within the next beta 7 or beta 8, whatever Apple decides to do. It looks like this could be pushed back as well. Now, one thing that I think Apple could have done to easily make iOS 15 a home run is a few things here. Number one, Apple could have gave users weather on the lock screen. Many users want the weather on the lock screen. Apple has weather notifications, but for some reason, Apple just continues to deny users of weather on the lock screen. I think many iOS users really want live weather on the lock screen, or even just widgets on the lock screen would have made iOS feel like an entirely new experience for most users, in my opinion. So just having the ability to customize the lock screen and having weather and things like that on the lock screen could have made this software an entirely new experience and would have made your device feel like new, just like back in the day. Now, another thing that I think Apple should have added to iOS 15 is interactive widgets and different size widgets. So if you're playing music in the music application and you have the music widget on the home screen, you can fast forward a track, you can go backwards, just interact with the widget. Apple could have done that with iOS 15, and this would have made the software a lot nicer for users, and it would have gave the software a burst of fresh air. It would have made it feel like a brand new device. Honestly, something as simple as that. For iPadOS, Apple tells that iPad is the future, maybe replacing your computer. We've been having guest mode on computers for years. iPad is lacking in guest mode. This could have made iPad users feel like their iPad was a brand new device. Something very, very simple. New widgets, new lock screen, maybe guest mode for the iPad. It would have been something great to see. And in my personal opinion, for the iPhone, we have the app library feature all the way towards the end of the software here. On iPad, we have that feature directly on the dock. I think Apple could have added this app library feature that found on the end of the software right here on the dock, just like on the iPad. And again, just a minor UI change and a change to the dock would have made iOS 15 just feel like an entirely new experience. Let me know what you think. Are you excited for iOS 15? Do you agree with this video? And what features would you like to see an Apple add to the software iOS 15 before the initial launch, or maybe in the future? Thank you for watching this quick one, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.